Say, do you ever suffer from information overload? Are you bombarded with emails, texts, instant messages, YouTube videos, and invitations from people who want to be your friends on Facebook? Well, I can tell you that as the old saying goes, you ain't seen nothing yet. Hi, I'm John Gantz, Chief Research Officer for IDC, the well-known IT industry market and intelligence forecasting firm. Since 2007, on behalf of EMC Corporation, we've been sizing what we call the digital universe, or all the digital information created or captured in a year. Between now and 2020, the amount of information in the digital universe will grow by an inconceivable amount, as all major forms of media, voice, TV, radio, even print, complete the journey from analog to digital. At the same time, the influx of consumer technologies to the workplace will create stresses and strains on the organizations that must manage, store, protect, and dispose of all this electronic content. Just a couple of points to whet your appetite for checking out the rest of this iView. Last year, despite the global recession, the digital universe set a record. It grew by 60% to nearly 800,000 petabytes. A petabyte is a billion gigabytes, so picture a stack of DVDs from here to the moon and back. This year, the digital universe will grow almost as fast to 1.2 million petabytes, or 1.2 zettabytes. There's a word we haven't had to use until now. This explosive growth means that by 2020, our digital universe will be, get this, nearly 50 times as big as it was last year. Wow, our stack of DVDs then? Well, it would reach halfway to Mars. And here's another question for you. What comes after a quadrillion? That's right, it's quintillion, an incomprehensible number, and yet the number you need to describe how many information containers, packets, files, images, records, signals, that the bits of the digital universe will come in 2020. 25 quintillion. These containers, or files if you will, are the things that are actually managed, protected, and stored in the digital universe. And because of the growth of embedded systems in things like the smart grid, smart cities, smart buildings, the average size in the digital universe is getting smaller. The number of things to be managed are growing almost twice as fast as the total number of gigabytes. Good luck, all you CIOs out there. Think of the digital universe as a perpetual tsunami, and as it grows by an order of magnitude, we will have to deal with information in new ways. How will we find information when we need it? Well, we'll need new search and discovery tools. Most of the digital universe is unstructured data, images and voice packets, things like that. We'll need new ways to add structure to unstructured data, to look inside the information containers and recognize the content, like a face in a video. In fact, the fastest growing category in the digital universe is metadata, or data about data. How will we know what information we need to keep? Yes, we'll need new technical solutions for storage, but we'll also need new ways to manage our information, classify it by importance, know when to delete it, predict which we'll need in a hurry. And how will we follow all the government and industry rules about retaining records, tracking transactions, and ensuring privacy? These rules seem to be metastasizing. Compliance with regulations has become an entire industry, $46 billion worth last year, but will it be enough? How will we protect the information we need to protect? If the amount of the information in the digital universe is growing at 50% a year or so, the subset of information that needs to be secured is growing nearly twice as fast. The amount of unprotected data, it's growing even faster. These are some of the things we need to think about as we explore the digital universe. And there are plenty of others, like the role of cloud computing, the consumerization of the workplace, the growing share of the digital universe coming from India and China, and the amount of information about us, you and me, in the digital universe over which we have little or no control. But let me give you one last thing to think about, one last stat, before you start reviewing our other research findings. In the next decade, the amount of information in the digital universe will grow by a factor of 44, and the number of information containers or files by a factor of 67. The number of IT professionals in the world, that will grow by a factor of 1.4. Have courage.